Hello, everyone, and welcome to the May live stream that we're doing. Super excited about this one because today we're going to be diving in and talking about where to find grain. So, before we do that, we're not just talking about where to currently be finding grains right now, but I'm also going to give you guys some advice of what to do during this time of craziness. So everything is just, yeah, things are just crazy. We have inflation going through the roof. It was actually just the last time I went grocery shopping. I was buying some milk, and just like in a couple of weeks, it had gone up in price by about $1.50 to $2, which is absolutely ridiculous. So if you're here, welcome. If you are watching this live, fun thing we're going to do. So if you're watching live, comment in the chat first proof to let me know that you were watching this live. And if you were watching the replay, then you can type in second proof. So just a little fun to see how many people are here live. Also, feel free in the chat to comment if anything, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions of where you're finding grains right now that I may miss, or whatever the case may be, then definitely comment here in the chat. Now, do you know that if it's anything like last time, our last live when we talked about the food distribution fires and everything, the chat y'all were super active in the chat, and I wasn't able to see everything. So if you do have a question and you definitely want me to see it, then you actually do have the option to do a super chat, which if you notice at the bottom of the chat, there's a little, you have the little smiley face for the emoji. You also have the $ to leave a super chat. And if you do that, it does flash it for me, and I'll be sure to answer your question. Also, if you just want to leave a super chat to support this channel, I appreciate this as well. You can consider it buying me a muffin. If you would like to buy me a muffin, you can do the super chat, and I appreciate that. So hello, everyone. All right, we got, Jamie from Florida. Hey, another Floridian. Love it. We got y'all from everywhere: New York, Arizona, Virginia, another Floridian, Alabama. So we're neighbors. Welcome. All right. So last time was crazy. We were talking about the fire distributions, and I have to say thank you so much to everyone who commented about the fires going on in distribution starters in the distribution centers, because I was learning a lot from you guys. Some of y'all sent me lists of even more distribution centers that have, or farms, places like that have caught fire. Somehow I'm sure it's just all a coincidence. If you think it's something more than a coincidence, then definitely put in hashtag tinfoil hat club. I am right there with you. I've been a part of this for a while. Angela, first proof. What people are typing first proof just to show that you're here live. Second proof, you type in second proof if you're watching the replay of this video. Okay, so let's get started. Many of y'all have been looking for grains. I received many messages and comments about where to find wheat berries and grains. And so we're going to be talking about what I've seen. I looked at today. So this is update as of today, May 3rd, 2022. But I'm also going to be giving y'all some advice as well. Okay. So first we're going to get into the advice that I have, and then we're going to get into who's got what, basically. Okay. So, and I've got all my notes here. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Okay. So the biggest thing that I encourage you before panicking because you are unable to find whatever wheat berries, and that's generally what people are asking for, are wheat berries. If you're unable to find wheat berries, you do need to be flexible right now. So if you're really looking for hard white, you have your heart set on hard white. Hard red does the job as well. So remember, your hard red, your hard whites, they're going to do the same jobs. They're going to get you a good yeast bread. but you may have to choose hard red over hard white. Another thing is, I get comments asking about, well, what about hard, spring wheat or winter wheat? Don't worry about that. When it comes to, if it's a hard wheat, whether it's spring or winter, it's generally going to work well, especially for beginners. The nuances in those wheats, you can start telling if you're really diving in deep into intermediate or advanced levels with your bread. And so that's when you may, start seeing a difference between your spring and your winter. So right now, don't worry about that. Hard red, hard white wheats are going to get you your yeast breads. Now, another thing is, I always say soft white wheat for your baked goods, but generally speaking, spelt, camus, those kind of work together as well. So I know many of y'all have been trying to find like camus, which is an ancient grain spelled kamut, Kamut. It looks like kamut. That is actually hard to get right now. But I would look at getting soft white because it's still going to work well for your baked goods. And for those of you who are looking at pasta, I know many of y'all, many people like to use camus for pasta, but just know that wheat durum, I've been able to find wheat durum a bit more than actual camus right now, which durum, all that is just the child or grandchild of camus. So it still works great for pasta. That's actually what we use today for pasta is durum. You see it on the back of pasta as semolina. That's wheat durum right there. Okay, so let me see here. I got a question here. Do you recommend getting non-organic wheat berries? Oh, that is actually my next point, Teresa. Good point. So I generally do buy organic wheat berries because I can. It's one of the organic foods that I can't afford. And just to make sure that there are no pesticides used, because some wheat farmers, that for it not being organic, it is possible for them to use pesticides. So I prefer organic. But if you're looking at just stocking up, you want to build your stockpile of grains right now, possibly be open, if you're okay with this, of buying non-organic. Just because it's non-organic does not necessarily mean that they are using pesticides. It just means they do not have the certification to be organic. Feel free to reach out to the brand that you're looking at and asking, hey, do you use pesticides? What chemicals do you use on your wheat if they're not organic? And you may be surprised that they may not use any or much, depending, and they just may not have that organic certification. So that's an excellent point right there. Okay. And then also the biggest thing is, remember that there are other grains besides wheat that stock up well. Things like rice. Now I do recommend brown rice, so you get all the nutrients with that. And also oats, beans, your dried beans, excellent to stock up on. And so oats are another great thing to stock up on. And quinoa, that's actually another grain that is really great to have. And the great thing about rice, oats, and beans, you can find those at your local grocery store. Super easy to find. You're probably not going to find like 50-pound bags of it. Although I do know Sam's Club, I have seen like 25-pound bags of rice. They have like I think 7 to 10 pounds of like black beans or pinto beans. I've seen them there at Sam's Club. So they do have them there. Sam's also has oats, like in 10-pound increments, which 10 pounds of oats, that's a lot of oats. 10 pounds is going to get you about half of a 5-gallon bucket, maybe a little bit, slightly more than that full. So keep that in mind. It's not just wheat berries. I know we're all wanting it because we want the flour to make our bread. But there are other grains, good whole grains besides wheat berries. So you got to be flexible right now. Okay, so let me see. 1980E, Winmar said, is barley a good grain for my prepper pantry? Yeah, that's another great grain to have. What I like using barley for is not only is it great, I actually use it in like my Ezekiel bread recipe, but I've actually thrown in barley to stews. So like doing a beef or venison stew and throw some barley. into that. It stretches your meat and the stew out longer. It's hearty. So that's wonderful to have. And barley, just like wheat, it's a whole grain, and it will store really, really well. I have had barley sitting here for a while. I've never frozen it. Nothing like that. I treat it like I do my wheat berries, as far as storing them. And it's an excellent grain to have. I think barley. Yep. Leah Bean said we love barley in soups. That's really what I like using barley for, is throwing it into soups. Voila, you have a whole grain in your soups. Okay. So again, I just want to remind people, if you are catching this live, you can type in first proof, second proof, type in second proof if you are watching this as a replay. And then also feel free to buy me a muffin, especially if you got a question, the little super chat down below. I really appreciate that support. So now we're going to do about where to buy wheat berries, where to buy grains right now. And I was going through the main ones that I have, that I was able to see. So, and I'm going to be putting in the links. I will not only have the links in the description box below after this video is done being live, but while live, I will be posting the links in the chat for those who want to immediately click on it. So, okay. So first of all, if you've been around for like 0.2 milliseconds, I'm going to say Azure Standard. Now, here's the thing about Azure Standard is I know many of y'all are frustrated when you don't get your order. And how Azure Standard works, for those who do not know, and let me go ahead and post. I am an affiliate with Azure Standard, but just know whenever I place my order, I get no special treatment. So it comes out. So mine gets packed just like all of y'all's and everything. So what I'm about to say, just know I don't get any special proof. So, okay, I've posted the link for Azure Standard. And again, all of that will be in the description box below after this video is live. But here's the thing with Azure Standard is they do have wheat, but the issue has been that they're unable to pack it, to clean it and process it and pack it as fast as orders are coming in. Now, how Azure also works is whenever you place your order, it gets packed on the truck just in order of when they're packing the trucks. And I'm not entirely sure what that order is. So for instance, I'm in Florida. If they have, 50 trucks before me, they're all just getting packed before. And if they run out of whatever it is I've ordered, by the time to get to mine, they run out. So it has nothing to do of when you place your order. It's just when they pack their trucks. So that's the thing with Azure. Now, here's some tips about Azure. It's just because, how you add it to your cart, and if you check out or even before you check out and it starts saying this item is out of stock and unlikely to ship, do not delete it from your cart. Let me say it again. Leave it in your cart. Do not delete it from your cart. Many times I've had it say it's out of stock, but I get it. And if I had deleted it from my cart, I would never have gotten it if it's deleted. So a good example is my last order that I did. So I did not place an order in, what month are we in? May. I did not place an order in April. So my March order, it was saying like a lot of my order was out of stock. But I got everything except only 2 items. And I actually did get my grains that I had ordered. I didn't order a ton. Now, this time around, my order just closed tonight. I will be picking it up next week, and we shall see what I get. It's a very big order for me. So we will see, because a lot of it is saying it's out of stock. And when you click on that item, some of it does stay out of stock. And then others still show like a good amount there. So we will see what happens. But that's the biggest thing with Azure is don't delete it from your cart. Now, here's what I did notice with Azure. I do know that ancient grains are the biggest things that are not shipping. So their einkorn is completely showing sold out, like forget it. And then their camus, you can forget that. I've not even been able to add the camus to my cart in months. So those 2 ancient grains, especially the camus, I'm pretty sure they just don't have any. The einkorn, I mean, it's practically always out of stock. But other ones, the hard white, the soft white, the hard red, the durum. I have wheat durum in my cart. I even have sorghum. I'm trying out sorghum. So there are other ones as well that are saying they're out of stock, but in my cart they're saying out of stock, but they're not saying out of stock on the website when you go to order. So we'll see if I get those, but they are showing those where you can at least be adding them to your cart. Go ahead and check out with them. Do you know with Azure, in case you don't know, you can check out your order, but you can still make changes to it all the way up until your actual cutoff time. So in the meantime, whenever, and here's the other tip with Azure is whenever you start seeing that it's saying out of stock, go back to that item and look at different sizes. So for example, if I was looking at a 25-pound, if I added a 25-pound bag of hard red wheat and now it's showing out of stock, unlikely to ship. Well, go back to it and let's see if the 5 pounds, I can look at 5 pounds or maybe even the 50 pounds. And sometimes I've been able to switch it over or just add like 2 or 3 5-pound bags of the wheat as opposed to 25-pound bags. And I was able to get those 5-pound bags, but out of stock with the 25-pound bag. I'm hoping that makes sense. So no matter what it is, always look to see if possibly they have it in smaller quantities that they're saying are, they have more of and more likely to ship. So you can add that on too. And I recommend with grains, if your budget allows. So if you're wanting like hard red wheat and you wanted a 50-pound bag, but it's showing unlikely to ship, but yet they're 25-pound bags may ship, keep the 50-pound bag in your cart, add on like 2 of the 25-pound bags. Worst case scenario, you get both of them. So you now have 100 pounds of hard red wheat berries, which, are going to last. It's not going to go to waste. It's not like you've ordered twice as many apples or something like that. So you do have that option for that. And I always recommend just keeping it in and just kind of seeing what ships, but understanding that it may all ship. So make sure you have the money set aside for that one. So that's the biggest thing with Azure. And I do plan on hopefully soon doing a video where I actually walk you through via screenshots of how to order from Azure Standard and some tips and tricks that I've seen, some things to keep an eye out on, stuff like that to kind of make that experience easier. So those are my things with Azure Standard. I know I said a lot. Let me make sure I got it all. Yeah, so keep it in your cart. I am seeing hard red, hard white, soft white, those type in there, but the ancient grains like Camus, forget it. Just forget it. Einkorn, most likely forget it. I do have it in my cart, but it is saying out of stock. So we'll see if I get that one. Spelt, I think, is another one that's kind of iffy as well. So just, just keep that in mind with Azure, and I hope that helps you guys out. So moving on. So we have Azure Standard, and again, I'll have all the links down below. So the next place that I looked at today is Breadbeckers. Now, Breadbeckers, if you're not familiar, they're a company based in North Georgia, outside of on the east side, outside of Atlanta on the east side. So if you're in that area, definitely recommend going on and actually shopping at their store, because they do have a retail store there in I cannot remember the exact city, but breadbeckers.com. Now, here's the thing that I was seeing with Breadbeckers. When you go to breadbeckers.com, at the very top, they got a banner right now that says, due to excessive demand, there's a limit of 1 bucket or 2 pails per grain, per household, per day, and there's a 2.5-week shipping backlog. So with that being said, I looked at many of their grains, and they are completely sold out right now of Camus, einkorn, hard white. They have no corn whatsoever, spelt, barley, oats. I mean, they're practically out of everything, but they do have a 5-gallon bucket, which is about 40 pounds of the hard red wheat. It is not organic. You can only get one bucket, Woodstock, Georgia. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, Woodstock, Georgia. That's where Breadbeckers is. So they do currently have, whenever I looked a few hours ago, the hard red wheat in 5-gallon buckets. They also have soft white organic wheat in 5-gallon buckets. And the Ezekiel mix, they do have in 1-quart baggies or 1-gallon pails. And I'll be linking these all down below in the description box after this video is done being live. So that's like all the grains they have. I went through all of their grain, like all of their grains practically, and they're pretty much sold out of a lot of things. So now Breadbeckers, they do have a co-op that is every quarter. It's mainly based in the southeastern United States, but you can order from them, but you will be paying pretty hefty amounts for shipping. So you will need to keep that in mind if you're really, really wanting these. Again, all that they have is the hard red wheat in a 5-gallon bucket, soft white organic in a 5-gallon bucket, in the Ezekiel mix. I mean, that's all they have right now. Some of these they were actually showing that they should be receiving April 1st. Well, it's now May 3rd. So who knows when they're getting these in. So Breadbeckers does have some, but not much. And they very much are limiting their quantities. And you have to pay for shipping. So that's something you need to consider. Now, the third company is Pleasant Hill Grains, which I think I am an affiliate, or I know I am an affiliate with them. And I think a lot of you have been ordering from them lately because I've really been seeing a ton of orders with them. But with Pleasant Hill Grains, they have switched their shipping. I just got notice, if you've been looking on their website recently, they no longer offer free shipping over a certain amount. It's just $10 flat rate shipping, period. Which if you're getting a bucket of a 5-gallon bucket of grains, that's a really good price to pay for shipping. They used to have shipping included with their wheat berries, but not anymore. It's a flat $10 flat rate fee. So they also are out of stock of pretty much everything. The only thing that I saw that they had in stock right now was hard red organic. So they do have hard red wheat. It is organic. It's a $10 flat rate shipping, but Pleasant Hill Grains pricing is insane. I mean, like insane. So you can get like a 50-pound bag of hard red wheat from Azure Standard, for example, for around like what, 40, 50 bucks. I completely forgot to look at the price today, where with Pleasant Hill Grains, it's like 120, 130. So yeah, it's pretty insane. But if you're really wanting it, they do have it. So that's something. Okay. Let me see here. Speaking of the Ezekiel mix, do you know how I can find the nutritional value for Ezekiel bread using the Breadbeckers recipe? I think they may have that on their website. I am not sure though. I will have to look. Okay. So that's the thing with Pleasant Hill Grains, is all that I saw right now was hard red organic. That's it. Okay. So with Amazon, I actually noticed quite a few grains on Amazon. And with that, new news, I now have an Amazon storefront that I can now save all my grains. So I actually I'm putting it in the comments right now, and you can go to amazon.com/shop/grains and grit, and you will see my storefront where I can now recommend all the things. And in there I have grains, and I've listed a ton, and some of them actually were not bad pricing at all. And most of them included free shipping or very little shipping. So I highly recommend, if you're really wanting grains right now, to check out Amazon, because it was mainly Palouse brand as well as others, which, speaking of Palouse, you can order directly from their website as well. It's palousebrand.com. Again, everything will be down below. They have free shipping on their website, and they do have a lot of wheat in stock. I was seeing pretty much all their wheat. Now, they generally have hard red, hard white, and soft white, I believe. If I remember right, I didn't write it down. They do not have the ancient grains, really. It's just your typical hard red, hard white, soft white. So Palouse brand, and I've heard some great things about it. I personally have never ordered from them, but I've heard y'all say that, you've heard some great things. I've heard some great things from y'all about Palouse brand, Palouse. And again, I have them in my Amazon store, as well as I'll be linking them down below. And again, they have the bags and they offer free shipping. I mean, you know, that's awesome. So, so I do recommend them. Again, I was surprised that they had them. And then another place you've probably never heard of is a company, a farm actually, that I follow on Instagram, and I've been going back and forth with them on Instagram for a while now. And that is Farm Fresh Wheat. They are a farm based out of in Washington, and they only grow soft white wheat, but they have a subscription service. They call it a farm club, which I think is totally cool, where you can have 5, 10, or 20-pound bags of wheat berries shipped straight to you either monthly or quarterly. And it includes shipping. And their prices weren't bad at all. So I highly recommend that you check out farmfreshwheat.com. It's Kevin and Elizabeth that follow. And I recommend actually following them on Instagram. Elizabeth has posted a wonderful set of stories of 7 tips of how to make milling a habit. And they're really good. So you see them if you go to her Instagram, Farm Fresh Wheat on Instagram, you'll see in the little, you know how you have the little circles of saved stories, and you can see when she has like milling, I think is what it's called. And she has a great set of stories about 7 tips to make milling a habit. And I really, really like them. Okay, Jennifer, Ezekiel mix was at Breadbeckers. Yes, Breadbeckers does have the Ezekiel mix in stock. So yeah, that's at Breadbeckers. Okay, so and the great thing about with Farm Fresh Wheat, you're ordering directly from the farm. Again, they only do soft white wheat. They do have a subscription service, so you can set it up on a subscription if you like, or you can just have it shipped directly to you. Again, it's free shipping whether you're with the Farm Club subscription or you have it shipped directly. And again, the pricing wasn't bad, but only soft white wheat. Okay. So those are the main places right now that have wheat berries. But to say that, do know again that there are other grains available, one that you can find right now at your grocery store. So the next time you're out grocery shopping, pick you up some more beans, some more rice, some quinoa, some oats. Go ahead and just stock those up while you're at your grocery store. Again, Sam's Club has them in like 25-pound bags, at least the rice. They do have large bags of rice. And if you do need to know how to store grains, I do have a video about that. I will be linking that in the description box below after this video is done being live. So hopefully this video was helpful. Again, I know that this information could literally change like next week, but at least for now, this will help you out, guys. Now, another thing to add is the Mother's Day sale with Bosch and Nutrimil is still going on right now. It ends May 9th. So if you haven't snagged a Bosch Universal Mixer or a Nutrimil Harvest Grain Mill, getting a good deal on that. Links will be below for that. Oh, yeah. And some of y'all are reminding me to definitely still check your local grocery stores, especially if you have a local grocery store or even places like Whole Foods or Fresh Market where you see the grain bins where you can actually go and like get the wheat berries. Ask them about if you can place a special order with them. I've actually done this before, where if I see that they sell wheat berries, they're generally able to, they're usually fine placing an order for you and they're getting them. So ask for a 25 or 50-pound bag. Another place to find grains is especially if you were like in Amish country, you know, those type of places, the Amish stores, they generally carry wheat berries as well. So they're ones to ask. And my battery is actually about to die, so we've got to end this, but definitely check in. If you're also in wheat country, be sure to check with your local farmers as well. So I don't really see any other questions. If you have any other questions, be sure to list them in the comments below, and I will be trying to get to them as fast as I can. And oh, Walmart has 20 to 25-pound bags of pinto beans, sticky rice, long grain rice, and jasmine rice. So Walmart is another place to look as well. So again, hopefully this was helpful, y'all. Thank you so very much for watching, and I look forward to talking with y'all in the comments below. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.